Starting fire with ice feels symbolically exciting. Having previously worked with light and ice, this idea sprang into my mind. Making fire with flint or pieces of wood isn't an easy thing to do. So when you think about anthropology, you start wondering if our ancestors also used different techniques. It should be possible to shape an ice lens with bare hands and then reuse it during spring-winter. It's easier for an archaeologist to find remains of flint stones than ice lenses. So you never know. Maybe also ice lenses were used to start fire during the Ice Age, when there was plenty of ice. However, I first tested to ignite tinder using a small magnifying glass with a diameter of 70 millimeters. This convinced me to continue with the ice lens project. I made an ice lens with a diameter of 200 millimeters and the radius of curvature was about 180 millimeters. It would have been cool to make the lens with bare hands from a piece of sea ice, but I didn't have the time and patience, so I prefabricated it at home. I used birch bark, grass and wood shavings as tinder. At first it was a little windy, but later on, after many attempts, I managed to start the fire inside a piece of a PET bottle. I screwed up and the fire went out. The wind was calmer for a while and I somehow managed to reignite the material. This time I was more alert, filling up with birch bark. It was about time to get something to eat, and luckily I had prepared ingredients for some vegetarian quesadillas. Not a typical Finnish dish, but it was great with some spicy food in the cold. Having been outdoors all day, it was also nice to warm up my hands by the fire. I was tired but satisfied with the project. Afterwards, I realized I had been so engulfed by the idea and the project, so I had forgotten to Google it in advance. I realized several people had tried this same idea. But hey, life gets boring if you always Google everything. And you would end up doing nothing because you feel everything is already done. During the process, I was close to having some mental breakdowns. Getting the right shape was one thing, but it showed up that it was really hard to freeze good quality ice without air bubbles or cracks. I used wood and screws to make a simple grinding template. Using plane and sandpaper was also handy, and the final polishing was made with bare hands. It would have been great to get the lens shape straight away. I tried slow freezing outdoors and fast freezing in the freezer. I used everything from cold to boiled water, but always ended up with air bubbles. Finally, I realized that directional freezing was the best method for getting clear ice.